Dillon Brooks has been reborn. He's a guy who went from being the defensive player out of the University of Oregon to a guy who slowly proved himself, got a second contract in the NBA with the Memphis Grizzlies, to now being sent out of town, now coming to Houston and having a very impressive FIBA World Cup. And I think he might be a brand new player. And Dillon Brooks, this guy, what we saw was he was aggressive in terms of his three-point shot. But if the shot wasn't falling, he didn't force it. He stopped, he looked for other ways to contribute, either as a facilitator, playmaker, or just being a guy who kept the ball moving, cutting towards the basket, and finding ways for his team to win. So in today's video, I want to talk about why I think Dillon Brooks is going to have a rejuvenated? I feel like weird saying that. Rejuvenated year with the Houston Rockets. That big old deal is going to be worth it. Maybe in 2 years' time, could be an underpay for a guy who's just voted the best defender in the world, according to the FIBA World Cup. So let's get right into today's video. Hit that subscribe button. We're on the way to 20,000 subscribers. And I'm filming around my condo right now. Shout out Brett Coleman. He makes NFL videos like this. So I want to try doing it with my NBA videos. If you guys did like this intro, like the button on this video so I can see that, and I'll make more full-length videos like this. So now let's hop into the studio. Yeah.
I guess we're going to say we're a pro Dillon Brooks channel. I guess that's what we're going to say. But the thing is that, seriously, this is a guy that I feel, if you look at his first 2 seasons in the league, he was actually like a decent, I'd say even his first 3 years in the league, because this is his 7th season, all right? And Dillon Brooks, stats, his first 3 years, he was a guy who just got better and better. And I think it's an interesting story because in his first 3 years, he averaged 12.8 points, all right, in 27.7 minutes, 3 rebounds, 1.7 assists, steal a night, 1.5 turnovers, shot about 11 field goals a game, made about 4.8 at 42% while shooting 35.8% from 3. And he was a guy that by his 3rd season, he was averaging 16. Now, if we put into consideration his first 4 years, which people would say his first 4 years were his best, okay? Because it really was the last 2 years that he was a 14 points per game scorer. Because in year 4, he would put up 17 points while shooting 42% from the field and 34 from 3. His best season shooting 3 was his 2nd season, but he was only taking 2 threes a night. Years 3 and 4 was when he got up to that about 6 threes a night, and he was averaging over a steal a game. He was just an absolute, stud. And the crazy thing is, though, year 4 was the first year he became an efficient basketball player. Yes, and I think it's definitely interesting to see Dillon Brooks, because if you guys don't know, Dillon Brooks, if we wanted to describe him as a basketball player as we know him right now, again, I told you, he played very different in FIBA World Cup. And of course, take FIBA World Cup with a grain of salt. You're going to play different because it's a different style. It's international basketball. So, of course, you're going to be playing different. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's FIBA style. There's hand checks, 3-point lines shorter, all this other stuff that you have to put in consideration. Now, this is a guy who, what we know about him is he's the epitome of an irrationally high confident guy. There is no such thing as a bad shot in Dillon Brooks' mind. And he can be on fire or he could be on ice. And he sometimes has tunnel vision. And the thing is he's always looking for his own shot, and he's been labeled as a dirty player, but he's a gritty all NBA defender, all defensive team defender, I guess you would say. But like I said in the beginning of the video, this is a guy that at this point, after we were watching him in FIBA World Cup, he looked like a man who might have reinvented himself as a guy who's learned how to make for his teammates, who doesn't just look for his shots, okay? He doesn't have tunnel vision, who understands that, all right, yes, I have a 3-point shot, but if that 3-point shot isn't falling, move on, find other ways to make an impact in the game. Okay? Because this is a guy that during, we've referenced FIBA World Cup, because I really think Jordi Fernandez got to him. I think maybe Ime Udoka has already gotten to him. But this was a guy who in FIBA was playing good, representing the Canadian team. The 27-year-old averaged 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists a night. And yes, he shot, I believe it was, 60% from inside the arc. So on 2-point shots, he averaged about 4.5 inside the arc shots, made 2.6 at 60%. He attempted 8.6 field goals a night, made 5.1 at 59.4%, shooting 15 points, while he also got to the free throw line 3 times a game and averaged 4.5 threes at 58.8%. That's absurd. Okay, we don't expect him to do that. But I expect him to be super efficient. I expect him to play like how he is. Like, he's a good player. And I think they know that, okay? I think Houston knows what they have, and what potentially could go on here is that they don't really have a second. Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green are our expected top 2 scorers. Alperen Şengün would be nice as the third, or Jabari Smith or somebody. But I really do believe that if you look at this right here, I think our guy, like Mr. Dillon Brooks, could be the man who ends up being the third leading scorer for the Houston Rockets, because it makes sense. It does. It makes a lot of sense in my mind, because this is a team that they need more 3-point shooting. I think we'd all agree that's kind of like a little bit of their weakness, and something that they've had a struggle with the last few seasons. So I definitely wonder if Dillon Brooks is going to be given the green light by Ime Udoka. I mean, look, hey, Grant Williams got paid because of Ime, so I definitely want to hear. I want to also know if you guys heard my dog. But yeah, I wonder. I really like this team, and I'm part of the camp that I think Dillon Brooks has been reborn. I'm also using this Team Canada, I guess you would say. Would you call it Team Canada? I don't know if that's the right phrasing. Picture as the picture for Dillon Brooks, but I'm excited. It was fun watching him with Team Canada, and the idea of him with Jalen Green, especially playing off of like a guy like Alperen Şengün and Fred VanVleet, where I feel like he's going to be utilized correctly at his fullest potential, going to be fun. Like, seriously. I think there's a lot of potential for that to work well and be this kind of, I don't know, this guy who's going to be like a menace and take advantage of, being, the craziest guy in the room. Maybe that's the right way to phrase it. I don't know if that is the right way to phrase it, but that's kind of how sometimes you think of Dillon Brooks. Like, he is going to be the psychopath, the one in the room at times. And I'm definitely all for it. Let me hear your thoughts and your opinions down below in the comment section if there was anything else you guys would have liked to have heard from me. But that's going to be it from us. Hit that like and subscribe button, but peace out.